Discipline isn't something you're born with. It's pattern you build through specific daily habits repeated until they become automatic. Right now, you have zero discipline because you've built opposite habits. You hit snooze 5 times every morning. You skip workouts when you don't feel like it. You break promises to yourself constantly. You eat what you want when you want. You waste hours on entertainment, then wonder why nothing changes. Every undisciplined action reinforces neural pathway that says, I do what feels good right now, regardless of long-term consequences. That's not character flaw, that's pattern. And if pattern was built, pattern can be destroyed and rebuilt. Miyamoto Musashi lived by 7 non-negotiable habits that created legendary discipline. He woke same time every day for decades, regardless of sleep quality. He trained every morning before mind could create excuses. He completed most difficult tasks when energy was highest. He never negotiated with his commitments. He deliberately chose discomfort to prevent weakness. He maintained ruthless accountability to his code. He eliminated everything that didn't serve his mission. These weren't occasional practices when he felt motivated. They were daily rituals executed with religious consistency for 40 years. That's how ordinary man became undefeatable warrior. Not through talent, through unbreakable habits. Self-help industry teaches you discipline comes from finding your why, getting inspired, making vision board, all backwards. Discipline comes from installing specific habits that remove need for willpower and decision-making. Musashi didn't need motivation because habits ran automatically. Morning arrived, body moved. Challenge appeared, he faced it. Distraction emerged, he ignored it. In next 10 topics, you get exact 7 habits samurai used, how to implement them practically, how to maintain them permanently, plus secret principle that makes any habit unbreakable. Not theory, not inspiration, executable system. Verse 7 topics reveal each habit. Topic 8 shows implementation method. Topic 9 gives maintenance system. Topic 10 delivers bonus principle that changes everything. On day you finish implementing, you'll have discipline that runs automatically without willpower. But system starts with understanding first habit clearly. Habit 1. Wake at exact same time without negotiation. First samurai habit is waking at exact same time every single day, including weekends. Holidays, regardless of sleep quality or circumstances. Not around 6 a.m., exactly 6 a.m. to the minute. Not unless I went to bed late, no exceptions ever. This seems trivial until you realize it's foundational discipline that proves you control your actions regardless of feelings. You don't feel like waking up. You wake anyway. That override of comfort impulse is discipline in purest form. Every other habit builds on this foundation because it establishes you, not your feelings. Decide what happens. Musashi woke at same pre-dawn hour for 40 years without variation. Not because he always felt rested and energized. Because he decided once and executed infinitely. That's difference between committed and interested. Interested people wake up when they feel like it. Committed people wake up because they said they would. Your wake time becomes your first kept promise to yourself every day, or your first broken promise. That pattern cascades. Break first promise, you'll break others. Keep first promise, you build momentum. Brain is prediction machine. If pattern is, I keep commitments, brain predicts you'll keep commitments and makes that easier. If pattern is, I negotiate with commitments, brain knows you don't mean what you say. Implementation is simple but not easy. Choose your wake time right now. Set alarm across rooms so you must physically stand to turn it off. When alarm sounds tomorrow, you have 5-second window before brain generates excuses. Count backwards 5 to 4, 3, 2, 1 and move immediately. No checking phone, no lying back down. Just for a minute, feet hit floor within 5 seconds. This single habit, executed perfectly without exception, creates discipline foundation everything else builds on. Without this, you're building discipline on sand. With this, you're building on bedrock. Next habit builds directly on this foundation by determining what you do immediately after waking. Habit 2, train your body before your mind wakes up. Second samurai habit is physical training within 5 minutes of waking, before mind fully activates excuse-generating machinery. Not eventually after coffee and phone, within 5 minutes of feet hitting floor. Could be push-ups, cold shower, run, bodyweight circuit, doesn't matter what specifically. What matters is, body moves before mind can create reasons why today should be different. This habit stacks directly on habit 1. You wake on time, immediately train. 2 disciplines executed before brain fog clears. 2 promises kept before day officially starts. Why train immediately? Because it's second act proving you override comfort impulse. Nobody feels like exercising right after waking. You do it anyway because that's what disciplined people do. This also hijacks physiology in your favor. Movement triggers cortisol and adrenaline, clearing mental fog. Exercise releases endorphins, improving mood. Early physical win creates psychological momentum coloring entire day. Musashi trained every morning regardless of weather, fatigue, or circumstances. Not always intense training, but always consistent training. Some mornings 10 minutes, other mornings 3 hours, but 0 mornings with nothing. Consistency beats intensity for habit formation. Implementation protocol. Choose one specific exercise you'll do every morning and commit to minimum viable version. Not perfect, just done. Could be 20 push-ups, 3-minute cold shower, 10-minute run. Whatever you choose, make it challenging enough to require effort, but simple enough you can't excuse engineer your way out. No equipment needed, no gym required, no circumstances that prevent execution. The rule is absolute: no coffee, no phone, no anything until training completes. Even if training is just 10 push-ups and 1-minute cold shower, it happens before everything else. This habit plus habit 1 gives you disciplined morning. Next habit ensures your most productive hours aren't wasted. Habit 3, complete your hardest task when willpower is maximum. Third samurai habit is identifying and completing most difficult or important task when your willpower is at maximum capacity, not when it's depleted. For most people, that's late morning after training and breakfast, before meetings and emails drain mental energy. This is task you'd normally procrastinate on, avoid or do last when you're exhausted. The task requiring most cognitive effort, generating most resistance, or carrying most importance. Could be difficult phone call, challenging creative work, uncomfortable conversation, complex problem solving. Whatever it is, it happens during your peak hours, not your depleted hours. Why, when willpower is maximum? Because willpower is finite resource that depletes throughout day like battery. Every decision made, every distraction resisted, every temptation overcome drains that battery. By afternoon, you're running on fumes, which is why evening you never tackle hard things. You delay them to tomorrow when battery is recharged, creating perpetual procrastination cycle. Musashi structured his day matching task difficulty to energy levels. Most demanding sword training at dawn when fresh. Strategic planning mid-morning when mind was sharp. Simpler drills in afternoon when tired. Meditation in evening when exhausted. He never tried to do hard things when weak. Neither should you. Implementation is straightforward. Every evening identify tomorrow's hardest task. Write it down specifically. Tomorrow after training, you execute that task immediately. No email first, no easy tasks as warm-up, no meetings before hard task completes. Those are procrastination disguised as productivity. They consume time and willpower, leaving nothing for what matters. Your morning sequence becomes wake on time, habit 1, train immediately, habit 2, execute hard task, habit 3. 3 disciplines completed before most people check first email. That's how you build productivity that looks superhuman, but is just strategic habit stacking. Next habit ensures you don't compromise these foundations. Habit 4, maintain zero exceptions policy for commitments. Fourth samurai habit is zero exceptions policy for all commitments you make to yourself. If you committed to it, you execute it regardless of circumstances, feelings, or convenient excuses. This isn't about commitments to others. Those are easy because external accountability exists. This is about commitments to yourself, where only you know if you broke your word. You committed to wake at 5 a.m. You wake at 5 a.m. even when you slept terribly. You committed to train, you train even when exhausted. You committed to hard task, it happens even when emergencies arise. No exceptions means exactly that. No circumstances justify breaking commitment to yourself. Why 0 exceptions? Because every exception creates permission structure for future exceptions. I skipped workout because I was tired becomes I can skip when tired. One exception isn't just missed workout. It's neural pathway saying, my commitments are negotiable. That pathway strengthens every time you make exception until eventually all commitments become suggestions you follow when convenient. Musashi maintained this ruthlessly. He committed to duel. He showed up even injured. He committed to training protocol. He executed even sick. Only physical impossibility prevented him keeping commitment, never inconvenience. That standard created unbreakable discipline. One compromise, and you're not disciplined. You're just compliant when conditions are favorable. Implementation requires brutal honesty with yourself. When situation arises tempting you to make reasonable exception, you ask, is this physically impossible or just uncomfortable? Physically impossible means injury prevents training, not soreness. Emergency prevents hard task, not busy schedule. If it's possible but uncomfortable, you execute at minimum viable level. Can't do full workout? Do 10 push-ups. Can't complete full hard task? Do 25 minutes. Minimum version still counts as kept commitment. 0 effort counts as broken commitment. This distinction is everything. Keeping commitments at minimum viable level builds discipline. Breaking commitments even with good excuses destroys it. Next habit prevents slow comfort creep that erodes discipline over time. Habit 5. Choose voluntary discomfort daily. 5th samurai habit is deliberately exposing yourself to chosen discomfort every single day, specifically because it's uncomfortable. This is separate from morning training or hard task. This is something uncomfortable you choose purely to train, overriding comfort-seeking impulse. Could be cold shower, skipping meal, uncomfortable social interaction, difficult conversation, anything that triggers resistance. Different discomfort each day or same one daily doesn't matter. What matters is daily, proving you can choose hard path when easy path is available. This habit prevents comfort addiction that slowly destroys discipline. Why voluntary discomfort? Because discipline atrophies in comfort and strengthens under stress. If you only do hard things when forced by circumstances, you're not disciplined, you're just reactive. Discipline means choosing hard path when easy path is right there. Most people's lives progressively eliminate all discomfort. Climate control means never too hot or cold. Unlimited food means never hungry. Infinite entertainment means never bored. Every discomfort eliminated seems like progress, but actually weakens you by removing opportunities to build tolerance. Musashi understood this deeply. He deliberately chose hardship to prevent softness. Slept on hard floors when beds available, walked long distances when rides offered, ate simple food when feasts available. Modern version doesn't need to be extreme, just consistent. Implementation is straightforward. Every evening choose tomorrow's voluntary discomfort. Could be cold shower, fasting until noon, having difficult conversation, doing task you hate, sitting in uncomfortable position. Whatever creates resistance you'll need to override. 10 minutes daily discomfort is enough to maintain tolerance that prevents comfort addiction. Important, this is different from habit 2 training and habit 3 hard task. Those serve other purposes. This exists solely to train choosing discomfort over comfort. That training makes you psychologically anti-fragile. Person who never chooses discomfort breaks when life forces discomfort on them. Person who daily chooses discomfort voluntarily handles forced discomfort easily because it's familiar territory. Next habit creates feedback system ensuring you maintain all previous habits. Habit 6, conduct ruthless evening. Accountability review. 6th samurai habit is evening accountability. Ritual reviewing your day against objective standard. Every night before sleep, you evaluate whether you executed each previous habit. Did I wake at designated time? Did I train within 5 minutes? Did I complete hardest tasks during peak hours? Did I maintain all commitments without exceptions? Did I choose voluntary discomfort? Every question gets yes or no, no explanations, no excuses, no gray area. Then you write tomorrow's hard task and designated discomfort. This takes 5 minutes maximum, but creates feedback loop that dramatically accelerates discipline development. Why evening accountability? Because what gets measured gets managed. Knowing you'll review day at night changes behavior during day. You don't want to write 5 no answers, so you execute. This also prevents delusional thinking, where you feel disciplined without actual evidence. Feelings lie, numbers don't. String of 7 yes answers is objective proof you executed. String of no answers is wake-up call that you're failing. Musashi did version of this reviewing, whether his actions aligned with his code. Not emotional journaling about feelings, objective assessment against concrete standard. Did I live up to warrior code today, yes or no? That honesty without self-deception is what maintained his discipline for decades. Implementation requires simple system, physical notebook where you write date and answer 6 questions every evening. Make it specific ritual. Same time, same place, same format. Not optional when you had good day and skipped when you had bad day. Especially important when you had bad day because acknowledgement is first step to correction. After 7 days, you'll have data showing patterns. Maybe you're perfect on waking and training, but failing on maintaining commitments and choosing discomfort. Now you know where to focus. This habit creates measurement system that makes invisible visible. You can't fix what? Habit 7, eliminate excess weekly. 7th samurai habit is systematically eliminating one thing from your life every week that doesn't serve your primary mission. Could be possession cluttering your space, subscription draining your money, commitment draining your time, relationship draining your energy, habit draining your willpower, or distraction draining your focus. You conduct weekly audit and cut one thing. This isn't decluttering for aesthetics. It's strategic elimination, maintaining simplicity that allows discipline to thrive. Complexity is enemy of discipline because it creates too many things competing for attention and energy. Why weekly elimination? Because life naturally accumulates complexity unless actively pruned. You buy things, accept commitments, start subscriptions, accumulate obligations. Each addition requires decision-making energy, physical space, mental bandwidth. Eventually, you're maintaining so many things, there's no energy left for what matters. Discipline requires focus. Focus requires simplicity. Simplicity requires elimination. Musashi practiced extreme version living with 7 possessions: 2 swords, writing materials, basic clothes, wooden sword for training. Everything else was excess that could be taken or lost. Modern version isn't extreme minimalism. It's intentional simplicity, where everything you keep serves clear purpose and everything else gets removed. Implementation is weekly ritual, ideally Sunday evening during planning session. You audit 5 areas: physical possessions, financial commitments, time obligations, relationships, and digital subscriptions. Identify one thing in any category that's taking more than it gives. Could be item you haven't used in months. Could be subscription you forgot you had. Could be commitment you resent. Could be relationship that drains without reciprocating. Could be app wasting hours daily. Choose one, remove it this week. After a year, you've eliminated 52 sources of complexity. After 2 years, 104. This progressive simplification creates space and energy for disciplines that matter. These 7 habits create foundation. Next 3 topics show you how to implement them, maintain them permanently, and master principle that makes any habit unbreakable. How to implement these 7 habits without failing. Implementation method that actually works is sequential installation, not simultaneous overhaul. Trying to install all 7 habits at once guarantees failure because you're fighting too many battles. You install one habit at a time, get it to automaticity, then add next while maintaining first. Start with habit 1, waking on time. Execute that perfectly for minimum 3 weeks until it becomes automatic. Then add habit 2, immediate training, while maintaining habit 1. Execute both for 3 weeks. Then add habit 3, hard task first. Each new habit stacks on previous ones, creating compound system. The critical window is first 3 weeks of new habit. Days 1 through 7 are hell because you're fighting existing neural pathways. Brain generates 1,000 excuses why today should be exception. You override every excuse without negotiation. Days 8 through 14 get significantly easier as new pathway strengthens. Days 15 through 21 solidify automation. After 3 weeks, habit requires minimal willpower to maintain. That's when you add next habit. So your timeline is weeks 1 through 3 install habit 1, weeks 4 through 6 add habit 2, while maintaining habit 1. Weeks 7 through 9 add habit 3, while maintaining habits 1 and 2. Continue pattern through all 7 habits. This sequential method takes approximately 21 weeks to install all 7 habits. But at end, you have unbreakable system running automatically. Alternative method of trying to change everything overnight takes 1 week and fails completely. Patient sequential installation wins. During installation phase, you use implementation intentions, which are specific if-then statements, not vague. I'll be more disciplined, specific when alarm sounds at 5 a.m. I will immediately stand and turn it off within 5 seconds. Not I'll exercise more, specific when I turn off alarm, I will immediately do 20 push-ups within 5 minutes. Implementation intentions are proven to dramatically increase habit adherence. Write yours for each habit and review them daily during installation phase. Next topic shows how to maintain these habits permanently once installed. The maintenance system that prevents relapse forever. Once all 7 habits are installed and running automatically, you enter maintenance phase, which has 3 layers preventing relapse. First layer is daily minimum standard. Every single day, rest of your life, you execute minimum viable version of each habit. Could be reduced intensity, shortened duration, but never zero. This prevents complete breaks that restart need for willpower. If you do 0, you're retraining brain that commitments are optional. If you do minimum viable version, you're maintaining neural pathway, saying commitments are absolute. Minimum version during sick, travel emergency still counts as maintained habit. Second layer is weekly performance review beyond daily accountability. Every Sunday you analyze week looking at patterns. Did you execute all 7 habits all 7 days? Where did failures occur? What caused them? What adjustments prevent repeat failure? This isn't emotional self-flagellation, it's objective analysis. Maybe you failed habit 3 hard task 3 times because meetings got scheduled during peak hours. Solution: block peak hours on calendar as untouchable. Maybe you failed habit 5 voluntary discomfort 4 times because you forgot. Solution: set phone reminder. Problems have solutions, but only if you identify them systematically. This weekly review creates meta-layer, ensuring system improves over time instead of degrading. Third layer is quarterly intensity increase, preventing plateau. Every 3 months, you increase difficulty slightly on at least 3 habits. Maybe wake time shifts 15 minutes earlier. Maybe training extends 5 minutes longer. Maybe hard task becomes more challenging task. This ensures continuous growth instead of comfortable maintenance. Discipline maintained at same level forever slowly weakens as you adapt. Discipline that progressively increases stays sharp indefinitely. Musashi never maintained same training intensity. He continuously increased difficulty throughout life, even as master. That's why he never weakened even into old age. These 3 maintenance layers ensure discipline built through 7 habits becomes permanent trait instead of temporary achievement. Final topic reveals secret principle that makes mastering any habit inevitable. Bonus: the secret samurai principle that makes any habit unbreakable. The secret principle Musashi used that made his discipline truly unbreakable wasn't any specific habit. It was meta-principle he applied to all habits, absolute refusal to negotiate with himself. Most people treat commitments to themselves as opening positions in negotiation. I'll wake at 5 a.m. unless I'm tired, or it's weekend, or I went to bed late, or I don't feel well. Every unless is negotiation. Every negotiation weakens commitment until it becomes suggestion. Musashi's principle was, commitments to yourself are even more sacred than commitments to others, because only you know if you broke them. Breaking commitment to others damages reputation. Breaking commitment to yourself damages identity. This principle manifests as what he called cutting the bridge. When samurai crossed bridge into enemy territory, they sometimes burned bridge behind them, removing retreat option. Now only option was victory or death, no middle ground of running away. You do same with habits. When you commit to habit, you cut all bridges to exceptions. Not I'll do this unless circumstances make it hard, just I'll do this, period. No conditions, no negotiations, no unless statements. This seems harsh until you realize it's actually liberating. You're not constantly negotiating with yourself every morning whether today is exception day. You already decided. Calendar says Monday, you execute Monday protocol. Removes entirely the willpower drain of deciding. Implementation of this principle. Take each of 7 habits and write commitment statement with 0 unless clauses. Not I'll wake at 5 a.m. unless I'm tired. Just I wake at 5 a.m. every day. Not I'll train unless I'm sore. Just I train every morning within 5 minutes of waking. Not I'll do hard task. Unless meetings interfere, just I complete hardest task before noon every day. Then you do something powerful. You speak these commitments out loud to another person. Could be friend, family member, accountability partner. Speaking commitment publicly with 0 escape clauses cuts all bridges. Now, breaking commitment means not just failing yourself, but failing publicly stated word. That additional layer makes commitment truly unbreakable. This is why samurai made public declarations before battles. Not for audience, for themselves. Once declared publicly, retreat became impossible without destroying honor. You do same with habits. Declare them absolutely, then execute them absolutely. That's secret to making any habit permanent. You just received exact 7 habits samurai used to build iron discipline that lasted lifetime. Not theory, not motivation. Executable habits with installation method, maintenance system, and secret principle that makes them permanent. Habit 1 locks wake time. Habit 2 ensures immediate training. Habit 3 front-loads difficulty. Habit 4 eliminates negotiations. Habit 5 prevents softness. Habit 6 creates accountability. Habit 7 maintains simplicity. Install sequentially over 21 weeks. Maintain with 3-layer system. Apply no negotiation principle to make them unbreakable. That's complete discipline operating system running automatically without requiring constant willpower. Challenge starts tomorrow. Implement Habit 1 perfectly. Post in comments, starting 7 Samurai Habits Protocol tomorrow, and declare your wake time with 0 unless clauses. Create public commitment, cutting all bridges to exceptions. If this showed you how real discipline is built through specific habits, not vague intentions, subscribe for more warrior protocols based on tested methods, not modern nonsense. Being undisciplined is being controlled by impulses and feelings. Being disciplined is being controlled by commitments and code. Choose now. See you when you've installed all 7 habits and built iron discipline that makes you unstoppable.